So today I'm going to be talking about how to sell through Facebook. And so before we get started, I just want to share with you all a bit about me so you can understand who I am, why I'm talking to you today. And when Carsten invited me to do this talk, the number one criteria was that everything I say, everything that I show is going to be providing you with value. So that's the number one focus here. There's going to be no bullshit, like we're going to get straight into it. We'll fire through some things. If anyone has any questions, you can hit me up afterwards. I'll show you all my contact details later on. So this is me a very long time ago, pre-beard, looking pretty young. So I come from a sales background. I left school as soon as I possibly could. I didn't want to go to university. I'd always wanted to get into the business world. And I'd been competing in sport for quite a long time at quite a high level as a teenager. So I competed for the England national kickboxing and taekwondo teams. And a friend of mine had recommended sales as a really good kind of route to go down. It goes down fairly well with the sporting background, or so he said. So I started off in recruitment. Everybody hates recruiters, and I totally get why. We're a pain in the arse. But I started as a recruiter. I worked in a load of different companies, some fairly small, some ridiculous, like Wolf of Wall Street kind of style. There was gongs in the offices. I wasn't allowed to leave until I'd called 200 people every single day. So I've been involved in this kind of frontline sales and cold calling people all day. I started to realize that there was a lot more to the sales process. Like I could improve my sales process. I didn't need to call 200 people a day. I could call 10, 20 people a day. I could call no one in a day and get better results than my team that were making 200 phone calls a day. And that was when I learned how to use kind of social media effectively and implement that into my sales process. And this picture that you see in the middle, this is about 2 years ago. So I'm originally from Reading. I moved to London, and it was always my dream to work at a big social media company and a big tech company. So I targeted two companies. I wanted to work at either LinkedIn or Hootsuite. I interviewed with both. I ended up joining the team at Hootsuite and worked in their enterprise outbound sales team, not for too long, just for about a year. But that's where I really started to kind of hone my social selling skills. I was spending all day explaining to enterprise businesses how they can utilize social to help their sales teams sell more and to just improve their business as a whole. And this is me a few months ago on the far right. So I left Hootsuite and I now look after all of the business development and growth in the UK and some of Europe for a startup called Leadfeeder. This role is very different to what I've done in the past, but everything we do is inbound focused. We don't have an outbound sales strategy. We don't employ any SDRs just yet. We don't have any cold calling. Everything is inbound focused. Okay, so why should you listen to me? I thought we'd just cover this quickly. As Carsten mentioned, I just launched the Social Media Growth Show. This is my new podcast. I launched that last week, and it's already, at one point it was ranking at number 11 within the business podcast charts. So I've already built myself a good sized audience. I have my own Facebook group. It's nothing on John's group, who's going to talk later, but I've managed to go from 0 to just under 1,000 members in less than 6 months. Last year, 2017, I was voted as one of the top 50 UK SaaS sales leaders by Sales Confidence, over on the right hand side. I had the number one social selling article on Sales Hacker last year, which is a huge blog within the sales community. The average read time of the blog that I wrote for them was actually 13.5 minutes, which is pretty good if I do say so myself. And I love speaking to people like this. I love sharing my knowledge and sharing my tips with everybody. So why Facebook? I know you're probably going to want to ask me a few questions about Facebook at the end of this, and that's fine. But Facebook has over 2 billion monthly active users, which is over a third of the planet's population. And 74% of people say they use Facebook for professional purposes. So I said we're just going to cut the crap, get straight into it. So I'm going to share with you 3 or 4 actionable ways that you can all start to utilize Facebook to help you generate more sales and get closer to your prospects and customers. So first of all, I'm just going to show you a quick video. We're going to talk about optimizing your profile. I'll just play this and I'll kind of talk through as it's playing. So this is my profile on Facebook that you're seeing on the right hand side. And as with LinkedIn, with any other platform, we're always talking about optimizing our profiles. And I tell people to treat their social profiles as though they're a landing page. So we've all done it. We've all stalked people on Facebook. Like we've seen something they've commented on, we've clicked through. And typically you either lock away your Facebook because it's just dog pictures and embarrassing things that you don't want to share with anyone else, or there's nothing on your profile to explain to people what you do, how you can help them, how you can benefit them. This is something that is super easy to change. It will literally take you 5 minutes. You can go away and do this after the session. There's 3 things that I talk about. So the first one is treat your profile as a landing page. Use your bio section. So I'll just cut to the bio section here on this video. Just let it scroll down. Cool. So over here, you'll see we have a bio section that you can all use on Facebook. Everyone has the option to use this on their profile. And I say to use this as quickly as possible, explain to any of your, think of who your target buyer is or who your target persona is that you're going to want to send to your profile. And we'll talk about how to do that later. But if I'm your target buyer, how can you help me? Try and get that across immediately. So mine, if you can't see this, it says Leadfeeder gives you more sales leads. That's what we do. And I help you sell more with social media. Join my group, and there's a little finger pointing down. And you'll see I also list my jobs here, so people immediately know what I do, how I can help them. And then the next thing is I say use a featured photo to push a call to action. So with Facebook, it's cool to have all your dog pictures, all your embarrassing ones. I have pictures of me holding babies, I have pictures of me with dogs. That's fine. People need to know you've got a personality as well. There's no problem with that. You can use a featured image, and a featured image is when you're on mobile, it's the very first image that you see. You can choose up to 5 of them. I recommend just using 1, and use this to push a call to action. So I run a Facebook group. At the moment, I just want to get as many people as I can into my group. When I'm posting in other groups on Facebook and sharing content, I want people to come in and join my group. That's where my personal kind of funnel starts and where they'll learn the most from me. So I have this featured picture, and you'll see here, once this scrolls down, it tells people what my group is really quickly. It gives a little click below to join, and then down here I have a link to my group. And I can get into this with anyone afterwards if they want to, but this link is a Pixel Me link as well, which means I can embed a retargeting pixel into that link. So it goes to my Facebook group. I couldn't normally put my Facebook pixel on Facebook itself, but with this link, anyone that clicks it gets added to my Facebook pixel, so I can retarget them. So if they've come into the group and they haven't joined, I can still get them with my Facebook ads. You can use this to, let's say you have a really high converting landing page on your website. If you don't want to drive someone to a group that you run, if you just want them to be aware of your company, you can put a link there. You can use a Bitly link or something like that, and you can track how many clicks it's had, how many people have come through. We'll move on to the next one. So this year, Mark Zuckerberg has said that the number one thing for Facebook, we're going to see lots of changes with Facebook, and he wants to encourage more meaningful social interactions. So how do we do that? We've got all the family and friends stuff, but how are you going to have more meaningful conversations with business people or people within your network? There's loads of ways to do this. The number one thing I'm going to focus on today is joining and engaging in relevant Facebook groups. So it's very easy to find groups to share content to help people out. And the number one thing I would recommend here is search on Facebook, click on the Groups tab, and search for anything where you think your target persona might be hanging out. So for me at Leadfeeder, our tool is like a lead generation, sales generation tool. So people that typically use our tool are marketing managers or marketing directors, they're agency owners or small business owners, or they're growth hackers, quote unquote, that want to generate more returns from their website traffic. These are a few examples of, these are real, I pulled these up today. You probably won't be able to read all of them, but when you join a group, I'd recommend literally going in and joining as many groups as you can based on you think your buyers are going to hang out there. And these are some real examples here that I pulled in, because you can go into the group, there's a search bar, you can literally search for keywords. So you can use this to search for people, maybe that low-hanging fruit, the people that are already asking for what you offer. So I literally just typed in leads, right? And this very first one here, which tools to use to capture leads from a website. It took me 2 seconds to find that. That is really low-hanging fruit. I can go in, if I want, I can pitch to him straight away, but I don't recommend doing that. Share some value, help him out. This is it's so easy to get in front of buyers this way. Everyone is way more receptive, I find personally, to Facebook, just because if someone sends me a business email, right, I might not pick it up for hours. If I get a Facebook notification, it's the first thing I do. We all do it. There's some more here. I posted this on my LinkedIn account and was hoping for more information. Would anyone be kind enough to weigh in? Which lead generator platforms do you prefer using, and a quick why? And that's something, again, low-hanging fruit. I can go and engage. Someone down here, what is everyone using to generate leads these days? So there's that immediate low-hanging fruit. So that's the first tip. Go into these groups, join the ones that are relevant, and start engaging. Like, be a human, don't be a dick. Like, don't just come in and pitch immediately. Like, no one likes that. Be a human, come in, share some tips, some tricks. Just help people out, be nice, it's not hard. And then this over here on the right is another example. So when you join these groups, what I've found over the last sort of 6 to 9 months is I will come in and I will share posts, I'll create how-to guides to just genuinely help people within the group. I'm not going to get anything from it immediately, but further down the line you will. So this over here is a group run by Vin Clancy, who's a huge growth hacker. There's 20,000 members in this group. Most people that are in this group match my target market. I've been working with Vin fairly closely over the last 6 to 9 months, sharing content into his group, meeting him, trying to help, just genuinely help as much as I can. And in return, one day, I didn't even know about this, he posted to his whole group about Leadfeeder when we released a new feature. And I didn't ask for this, it just happened because I was being helpful. And you can see here it's had like 300 comments, 2 shares. But the best thing about this is it drove a load more traffic to our site, and we had a load of sign-ups, but more importantly, we actually had 18 people that then converted to become paid customers. And for us, like, the lifetime value of our customers is anywhere between like $5,000 and $8,000. So that's like a good amount of money for not really doing too much, and it's all come from Facebook. So now I'm going to just quickly get into some tools that can help you out. So that's groups. How do we then find individuals, right? Because Facebook is about meaningful connections. We've covered how to do that in groups, but how can we actually connect with individuals and find the right people? This tool here, Intelligent Search, you can, I'll share this all with everybody afterwards, so don't worry too much about taking pictures. Download this from the Chrome store, and this gives you the option to start to do some Boolean searching within Facebook. You can't usually do this, so rather than just searching London or founder or whatever, you can actually start to search using multiple different search terms. This is an example here. I've put in founder, so they must have their job as founder and they must live within London. And that takes 2 seconds, and I'll just show you what happens next. So it takes you through to Facebook search, and this is literally a list of shitload of founders within London. And like this, it's so easy for me to find these people, and I would recommend going through, adding them as friends. If your Facebook profile is set up how we've already spoken about, is optimized, like, they're not going to be concerned about receiving requests from you. You're probably going to have friends in common with them if you use Facebook actively. But you add them as a friend, even if they don't accept, there's a high chance they're probably going to look at your profile. If they've looked at your profile, it's set up to drive them to a website, to a call to action, just like LinkedIn. The more people you can get to your Facebook page, it's going to benefit you in the long run. It's like LinkedIn, you're viewing people to get them to view you back, to then drive them somewhere else. So action points here, optimize your profile, join and genuinely engage in groups. Like, don't be a lurker, don't push the sell, like, just be a genuine human. Use the advanced search tool to help you find your target buyers. Send them friend requests. I said here it all goes down in the DM, so have genuine conversations. Like, don't be concerned about if someone accepts your friend request, it's okay to talk to them. Like, it's not weird to send them a message, as long as you're not weird about it. People ask me this, like, how can I use Facebook with prospects, with customers, with clients without being weird? The answer is really simple, just don't be weird. Like, if I send someone a weird message, they're going to be creeped out, right? Share something with them that's going to help them. You know they're, for example, a founder within London. Share an event with them, talk to them about how it's like to be a founder in London. Okay, I'm fairly conscious of time, so I'm going to fly through this. This is I've called it some super nerdy bonus shit. A lot of you probably won't do this, which is cool. If you do want to learn how to do this in more depth, message me. I'll send you a video which explains in more depth exactly how to do it. But these are just some tools that you'll need, so I'll fly through those because you can see those afterwards. This is something that we're actively doing, I'm actively doing. Don't know how this is going to stand with GDPR, but I don't want to talk about that because I don't like it, I'm bored of it. The first thing you can do, find a Facebook group full of your target buyers. At Leadfeeder, one of the big tools that we integrate with and have a great relationship with is Pipedrive. It's a CRM system. A lot of these tools, I know that if someone uses Pipedrive, immediately they're probably a good fit for Leadfeeder. Your business will have similar things, tools that work well with it, locations that work well, groups for specific people that fit your persona. Find the groups. You can scrape these groups using a tool called Scrapely. Again, I'll show you more in depth how to do this if you want. But Scrapely is a Chrome extension. It pops up in your Chrome extensions bar. It looks like this. I press one button and immediately I have a list of everyone that's a member of that group. Now the list doesn't look like this when you get it. It's a bit more, there's a little less information there. But you can start to enrich this data using some other tools that I mentioned and showed you. And you can start to, basically you'll have the person's name, you'll have their company because they will have listed it, well, not all of them, but a lot of people will list their company on Facebook. You have their name, you have their company. You can use another tool. It sounds complicated, right? But honestly, it doesn't take very long at all. You have another tool, you press a button, it will go through, and once it has their company name, it will then find their company domain, so their website. Once we have their website, it will get put into a tab here. I then use another tool called Hunter, or there's loads of other email finding tools. Once it has someone's name, first name, surname, company, position, it's very easy to then find their emails. Email will then be pulled through here. I can then use this other tool called Facebook Auto Connector, where I can export that list of people's Facebook profiles because the tool scrapes those too. And I can chuck them all into here. And rather than having to go through manually one by one and add all these people as friends on Facebook, I can put the CSV file into here, press go, and it does it for me. I can then use a tool called Linked Helper. This is a LinkedIn automation tool. I can put the list into here. I can actually write a personalized connection request, and I can send it through to all of them. All I have to do is put the list in, put the request in, press go, and leave it. I don't have to do anything. It takes no time at all. And then you can cold email them. So I've add them to an absolutely fire cold email sequence. I'm not going to talk too much about this because John is going to absolutely crush it with his talk about cold email. I've learned a lot from John. But this is an example. So that Pipedrive user group, there were 900 members. After doing all of the filtering and everything like that, I had 145 confirmed emails. From those 145 confirmed emails, I sent out a campaign. We had 50% open rates, 6% click-through rates, 12% reply rates, and more importantly, 5 warm leads. Those 5 warm leads were all sales. I told you what a sale converts to for us earlier. Money there without really having to do too much. Cool, that's it. If anyone wants the slides, wants a more in-depth walkthrough of anything I covered, wants the video for how to do that properly, just wants to chat, send me an email. So it's hey@dylanhay.com. I think Carson will probably send all these slides out to everybody afterwards anyway, but I'm happy to help. And finally, just one little shameless plug here. So I launched my podcast last week. We got into the top 15 within the business store. To celebrate, I decided to do this big competition or this free giveaway. And I've made a lot of friends over Facebook and within the kind of online space over the last few months. And loads of them are CEOs and founders of these companies. They've been kind enough to donate prizes. So we actually have over $10,000 worth of SaaS tools that we're giving away completely for free. Stuff to help you grow your business. There's email tools in there, social media tools, influencer marketing tools, loads of stuff within there. It's free to enter. Basically, you go to dylanhay.com/contest. You just put in your email address. It's one of these viral leaderboard giveaway competitions. So you collect points for completing tasks. So inviting friends, joining my Facebook group, other stuff. The person that has the most points at the end wins a shitload of prizes for free, lifetime access to most of these tools, and there's prizes for second and third place as well. So anyone's interested in getting some more stuff to help you grow your business, check this out. If not, no problems. And if anyone needs any help, just come talk to me, send me a message. I'm happy to help in any way that I can. Thanks, everybody.